Breakfast Television. I'm Meredith Shaw, and our next guest is a longtime mental health advocate who has openly shared her struggles in the hopes of helping to empower others. She shares those struggles along with stories of her childhood and relationships in her new book, Closer Together. It is my pleasure to welcome to the show Sophie Grégoire Trudeau. Good morning. It's great to see you here.
Same.
I know by reading the book you're a morning person, so this isn't that hard, right? A TV person, morning person?
I love it, but I had a teenager in my bed too this morning, so it's like, keep the lights low. Yeah. Don't wake her up.
Don't wake the teenager. This really is a feat, this book, Closer Together. I mean, you know, the test of it is when you put sticky notes all the way along the side.
That is a sign that something opened up and that you're interested and something's happening, so thank you.
Yeah, some true gems, some things I want to go back to, but it's part memoir, it's part interview, it's part research with experts, essays, and even, you know, some workbook takeaways. So what did you start out wanting to do, and how did this book evolve? Because I've never really seen a book like it.
Well, yeah, people say it's a very unique formula. I would say I want to give everything I could in one book, but make it accessible, make it nicely condensed, and also get to the essential part of what mental health is. And it's the fabric of our lives. It's how we eat, it's what we eat, it's what we bring our attention to, it's who we hang out with, it's how we sleep. And we know that today in this fast-paced, you know, style of life where we don't think we're worthy of rest, unfortunately rest is how the mind and the body make sense of life. So we need to slow down. If we want to find our mental well-being on the big circle of what it means to be, you know, alive and well, we're going to have to slow down and look at ourselves and look at our traumas and look at our truths. And it's painful. But pain very often is a catalyst for change. And we're going to need to change in order to adapt to the crises that we're facing. So I want to share a little bit of my story and all the experts' advice that I had access to, and I didn't want to keep to myself. I want to give this to the world so people can be known to themselves more.
Yes, I love that. Yeah. Yes, to know thyself.
Yes.
And so many people are talking about this book, including Hillary Rodham Clinton. She calls the book an intrepid exploration into achieving a life filled with purpose, a sense of wonder. Yeah. Let's talk about the role of purpose in one's life, because sometimes as women in particular, we lose it. We lose our purpose. We start living in service of others. So talk about purpose, especially as you step into this new chapter.
You give me chills because we live in a society, and this is true, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have a little drink.
Yeah, no,
we live in a society where self-betrayal is rewarded. We don't want to age. We try to counter our true nature. We don't want to look the way we do. We are being taught very early as girls and women that we should be hating our bodies and ourselves in order to conform and to fit in. But when we do that, we deny our true nature and our authenticity and attachment, how you were taken care of in your childhood by touch, care, presence, playfulness, the way your parent or caregiver validated your whole experience of life and who you are, and authenticity, how you express your creative self, your unique personality, everybody has one, without changing your behavior to please others. We all do it, right?
Yes.
We do it as children to get our parents' love. We do it as adults in our relationships, in our friendly relationships, romantic relationships. But the most important thing is to be able to be well attached and to express your authenticity. So when we live in a society that tells us the opposite, we get sick physically and mentally.
Yeah, we're rewarded somehow for it.
Exactly. It's so ironic.
You speak to this in the book. 20 years ago, you decided to share your story with the struggle of an eating disorder, something that I can relate to. So what about that changed the direction of your life?
By the way, do you know how many people tell me this? Since I've shared my story, so many people come up to me and say that I suffered too, and I'm like, yeah, we were all suffering together, right? And we're all one trauma away from each other. But when you start sharing your story, not only do you allow yourself to heal along your own path, but you allow the space for others to feel safe enough to share their story. And safety and security on Abraham Maslow's pyramid of having a roof over your head and food on your table, if safety is not there, it's game over. We human beings need to feel safe in our environment. And if that doesn't happen, we're in alert mode, in a really stressed, you know, sympathetic nervous system mode. And it's very difficult to feel compassion for ourselves and for others. So look at the state of the world. And this is what the book is about, is how to have more emotional leadership so we're not threatened by the difference of others.
Yeah, and I think so much of what your book has really been able to do, Sophie, is allow people to feel seen in your story, and then also given the tools to do something about it. And you're in this new chapter. You've gone through a separation. You've gone through an end of a marriage. This is something that's incredibly relatable to so many people.
Absolutely.
And it is a part of your story.
Yeah.
And I think women are looking to you in this moment. So how were you able to do what you did with this book at a time in your life where some people just say, I'm out, like, I don't want to show up?
So, two things. At 49, I took the world's perception and decided to leave it out the window and sit with my integrity and my truth, and knowing that that was the best thing to do. But at the same time, I don't believe that we need to end a relationship in order to change its structure. I don't believe in that. I think society is telling us that success is marriage, divorce is failure. I don't accept that. From an emotional leadership perspective, two individuals, we still preserve the beauty of our relationship, Justin and I. We carry the love that we still have and respect for each other. And it doesn't have to mean that it's the end in itself. Why? The way we begin relationships should be reflected in the way we end relationships. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is the biggest lesson, because it does take emotional maturity, patience, and you know, unconditional love in some way, and we need it and others need it.
Yeah, partnership throughout,
and then
especially when it comes to the kids.
The kids don't suffer as much if we de-dramatize everything.
Yeah. Well, I too am part of a blended family, and you both seem to really be putting the kids first.
Absolutely.
And the kids are going through a lot in the public eye. How do you deal with parenting them in a very specific circumstance?
You know, what people see from my life is the 2% that's out there. My real life is with the kids at home, and the struggles.
She's in the bed with you before you get on television.
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
You know, I keep it real, man. It's how I was raised. I just keep it real. I do the work of sitting with my truth. I think my kids feed off my energy more than my words. As parents, we can say whatever we want. Oh, there they are, my little bunnies. I love them.
Happy belated. Yeah. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
And we keep things honest. We're close, and you know, sometimes there's awkward conversations, but they're always better than silence in a family.
Well, that's basically what you've given us with this book. It's not silent. It goes into the awkward. It shows a truth, but it also really equips us of what we can do. So Closer Together, that's the book. What do you want people to feel when they finish reading it? Because you really end it with a beautiful sentiment, like, I've always loved you, really, to your reader.
And it's really the truth, and I feel it every time I hear it.
Yeah.
I loved you first, dear reader, because I'm an only child, and the other, for me, is a source of solace. People are so much braver than they take credit for. Human beings have this incredible potential for change and adaptability. And I want people to know that it doesn't take huge leaps in your lives to change. Micro habits in your daily lives, little leaps. Sometimes it looks like a big ring of fire, and you're going to go through it, and you think you're going to burn yourself, and you don't know where you're going to land. There's people all along the way who are going to help you, you know, to transform. And there's allies everywhere.
Well, Closer Together is the book. I know you're going to want to pick it up. Available at all major bookstores. For more information, SophieGrégoireTrudeau.com and at Sophie Grégoire Trudeau on Instagram and socials. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for this roadmap.
Thank you
for
so
this
much.
roadmap.
Thank you.
And yeah, come on back anytime.
That.
This was fabulous. This was fabulous. Great chat. More Breakfast Television coming up.